Hold, please. Yeah, hi, I'm LB Hackemup. I am a busy streamer. I was playing Alien Isolation earlier today, which was fun. I just got to the part where the xenomorphs are like really kind of coming at you, so I that's where I stopped for today. But I do a lot of streaming. And today I'm playing Clara Kriegerton. She is a science professor of astrophysics. Astrology is the word I'm looking for. Both things. And she's super smart, and she owns a home that she is graciously letting Alex's character live in for no other reason than the kindness of her heart. That's me. Mm-mm.
Yeah. The character creation starts out pretty straightforward here. And the first thing we're going to look at is traits, which are much simpler than they are in Call of Cthulhu. So you have agility, smarts, spirit, strength, and vigor. You are going to start off with, they all start at a D4. And if I am remembering correctly, you have 5 points to traits. Yeah, tributes. Yeah. So you have 5 points. Each point bumps one of them up one die. So if you spend a point, it brings it up to a d6. The max you can have in any status d12. And these will influence our skills somewhat. Not as much as they do in other systems. They make it harder for you to increase your skill above that die. But you don't like add them together or anything when you roll. So yeah, we're going to kind of, it's a much more streamlined system in skills and things like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
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 Yeah. Do you want us to
So
read it? I can read the attributes, what they mean. It's in the book. It's page 16.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Savage World books.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, the Cthulhu expansion has very specific rules to it, but we start out character creation in much the same way. Where it deviates is that you have to be a human, which does mean you start off with a free edge, kind of their version of feats a little bit for the D&D minded. And yeah, so actually, I guess if we switch over, oh no, I can't switch over that way. All right. Yeah, I mean, if you want to read them off, you can.
Yeah, so for everybody watching, am I muted? No, I'm not muted. Okay. Agility is your hero's nimbleness, quickness, and dexterity. Smarts is a measure of how well your character knows his or her, their world and culture, how well they think on their feet, and mental agility. Reflects inner wisdom and willpower. Spirit is, oh, sorry, this is spirit. Spirit is very important as it helps your character recover from being shaken. Strength is raw physical power and general fitness. Strength is also used to generate your warriors' damage in hand to hand combat. And then vigor represents endurance, resistance to disease, poison, or toxins, and how much pain and physical damage a hero can shake off. I think they just missed that one. The
Mm.
smarts about instead of saying he.
Mm. Uh, the other thing, spirit will directly impact your sanity in this edition as well. Sanity is another derived attribute, kind of like your, let's see here, like your toughness and things like that.
So we get 5 ups, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna take 2 in smarts, so I'm rolling a d10,
You'd be rolling
right?
a d8 because one brings you to a d6,
Right.
two brings you to a d8.
So I'm doing 3 in smarts, and then 1 in spirit and 1 in vigor, or 2 in spirit.
You can also potentially raise them later. There's you have an option to take hindrances, and with those you can potentially, one of the things you can do is increase these attributes. So if you really feel like something needs to bump up 3 and you don't quite have it for it or something like that, feel, you can take a hindrance later on. Um, yeah, and then skills is going to work a little bit the same way, except they don't start at a D4. 1 point gets you to a D4, and so on after that. Except for that, they will have a linked attribute that you can't raise the skill above that die without spending 2 points. So if it's a linked attribute of smarts and your smarts is a d6 and you want to bring it to a d8, that d6 to d8 on the skill costs you 2 points. And you have 15 points to spend on skills.
Okay. And the skills are boating, climbing, driving, fighting, gambling, healing, intimidation, investigation, lockpicking, notice, persuasion, plotting, piloting, sorry, repair, riding, shooting, stealth, streetwise, survival, swimming, taunt, which is different than intimidation,
Mhm.
throwing, and tracking.
There are also 2 skills unique to Realms of Cthulhu:
Mm.
Knowledge Mythos, which you cannot invest in on your own, but you guys, we'll get to that when we're filling out stuff
Mm.
after character creation, because I think some of you guys have some of that.
Mm-hmm.
And Knowledge Psychology, if you want to
Oh,
have that.
it's not how you spell that word. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, you still going to use the 15 to start off with. We'll have a little room to improve when we translate experience that you would have gotten. And trying to think, I had something to say on this. Yeah, so don't worry too much. Like, so if something's real low, just keep it unskilled. You still have probably a better chance of succeeding on something that was like 10% in this system, unskilled, than you would
Mhm.
before. Um, there, some of the skills increase some derived statistics. So, for example, your AC is equal to your parry in this, which is 2 plus half your fighting skill. So D4 would give you a +2 to that. And that's how easy it is to hit you in melee combat. So if you don't want it to be ridiculously easy to punch you, you do want to have some skill in fighting. Some little stuff like that.
Okay. All
Because
right.
target number of 2 is so easy to hit.
Yeah. Okay. So there's all of these investigation, definitely. I can't go above smarts in that.
Without spending 2 points
2,
in
3,
it.
4.
But you
Okay.
could still go above it if you wanted to.
Yeah. Um I feel like I should up my persuasion, but I definitely didn't have it before, so I shouldn't have it now.
Well, it's a little soft reboot. If we want to change the characters up a little bit to fit this system better, feel
Mm,
free. I'm not
okay.
gonna say you can't do something. Like, one thing I was thinking is, Clara, you own a gun,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I was thinking it might not be a bad idea to put 1 point
Yeah.
in shooting, at at least, even though I think you just had the bear. What was it before? Was it 20%?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
yeah, so that gives you a fairly decent chance to hit something, because shooting something is a measure of your skill. It's not an opposed check. So
Okay.
the target number is just always 4 unless there's complications.
Yeah.
So you being a wild card, which I guess maybe we should get to, is the players are called wild cards in this. And whenever you roll a die, you roll whatever your die is and a d6, and you can take whichever one is better. Um, but you want to get out of that unproficient. So if you're not proficient, you roll a d4 -2, and that -2 carries over to the d6. So you got that d4, it means you automatically get to roll 1d6 without any penalties. So it's
Ooh.
kind of a cheat. Uh, and yeah, it's yeah, that's a trained skill. Yeah. So anything you've spent points in, it's a trained skill. So that's kind of, yeah, here. So the first point gets you the check mark that says you're rolling a d4, because on our character sheets, it starts you at a d4 on all of these things.
Okay.
Um,
What
Let
are
me make
you?
sure that it
Yeah.
rolls right. I'm
Well,
just
I
going to
can do it.
roll an unskilled. Okay, go ahead. Roll an unskilled something. I want to see how
Oh,
it.
an unskilled something? It's not
Yeah,
gonna.
that you don't have a check mark in.
Uh, yeah. Whoa. I'm very good at boating, apparently. What are all of these numbers? Good lord. Oh, they're the modifiers.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right. So I see what's going on. I do think I remember seeing this. We have to type it out. We can't use unskilled. We can't just hit the button.
Okay, that's fine.
We're going to have to do a d4 -2 and a d6 -2. Yeah. All right. But yeah, for purposes of our housekeeping, the first point gets you a check mark.
Does it go into negatives or is it just?
You could theoretically roll a negative. Uh, Yeah. So yeah, if you have a -2 and you roll bad, I mean, you could
Okay.
get a negative. It doesn't matter. It's failure's failure,
Yeah.
right?
There's not
So
like anything worse than the other.
there is a critical failure, and that's if you roll snake eyes. So if your
Ooh.
wild die and your skill die are both ones, then it's critical failure. So there isn't a critical hit in this system. They have degrees of success. And since they have exploding dice, or they call them aces in this, your numbers can get really high. So if you roll 4 above the target number, it's called a raise. And it's kind of is treated like a crit, like extra stuff happens. You kind of get to do extra things. So an example of when you're hitting someone, if you do enough damage above their toughness, if you do at least 4 above their toughness, you get a raise, and they take a wound. So combat in this is a little different. We'll get to it in a second, but normally you're just shaken, meaning like you can't act on your turn. And yeah, if you get 4 above, they take a wound. So there's little extra things like that. Degrees of success is kind of, I guess, what some people would think of it as. But yeah, there's not like an automatic crit. If you roll max on both, doesn't really matter, except for they both explode, and then see how it goes.
Cool. Is tracking like I'm thinking hunting in the woods?
Yeah. So hunting. So one of the things that this system has you do is if they're kind of broad skills. If it fits into it, it fits into it. Any time you're trying to track something
Okay.
in any conceivable sense, you
Okay.
roll tracking.
I was thinking, well, because investigation would be more so like hitting the books and doing investigations that way, like doing physical or not physical, like mental,
Hmm.
like uh connecting dots sort of thing. And
And
then
what?
tracking would be like a physical moving through space. Is that
Hmm. I would say investigation would probably also take, like, if you walked into a crime scene and you were looking for clues, you'd
yeah,
roll an investigation.
okay. Because
Um,
I'm wondering if I should take tracking as like a way to like track them through time or like like putting the pieces together sort of thing.
oh, okay, okay.
Oh, what page?
So it's,
Thank
yeah,
you.
probably going to be the standard Savage World book. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so just it costs you a little extra to go above it. Um, Yeah, so it plays a little different too. So if you wanted to increase your smarts up above that low level, um, because in this, like, your smarts also covers like your common knowledge and stuff like that. So anything you would know, you just roll smarts roll. You don't there's no like common knowledge skills or anything like that to weigh you down with. Um,
Mhm. Okay. I took fighting. I took two in fighting. I have my investigation is up to a D10. Shooting is a D6. I took just the D4 in stealth, and then a D10 in knowledge psychology.
okay.
I still have 5 more points to spend.
Oh dang.
Oh, that's pottery. Throwing on the yeah.
I don't know that the last character sheet was not the greatest.
Yeah. Wait, oh yeah, the way it was like set up.
The other one I should mention is shooting covers any shooting from bows and arrows to rocket launchers to a tank. It's just shooting. So it's a little crazy.
Uh, there's sorry. Uh-huh. True. Should I add another knowledge then?
Yeah. So you have like you're a professor, so you have specific knowledges.
Uh-huh.
So you could roll. You could do those. And knowledges are kind of like in a lot of other systems where you just say what the knowledge is. Um, they don't have like a specific set
Okay.
of knowledges, to my understanding.
Well, yeah, there's so they have like common knowledge and languages as like some of the uh
Oh yeah. So if you want to be able to speak other languages, you will probably need that.
okay.
Um,
So I'll do that. And do knowledge language because I know that was something I had as Clara before. Okay. I am set on skills then.
okay.
Oh, hold on. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I gave myself way too many. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, yeah, no, I gave myself way too many. One, two. Okay.
All right. So moving down the list. So now we get our derived statistics. Um, duh, 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 duh. Yeah. So your charisma is 0 unless you have edges or hindrances. We'll deal with that when we get to edges and hindrances. Your pace is 6 inches. Parry is 2 plus half your fighting skill. Yeah, so if it's a D4,
okay.
it's +2.
Cool.
Uh, Oh, okay. And okay, so did it auto calculate your toughness as well?
Yeah.
Oh, well, cool. Uh, okay, and for this game, we have sanity as well, which is going to be 2 plus half your spirit, minus corruption, which we'll figure out. You guys have probably faced a little corruption, but we'll figure that out later.
What?
Yeah.
What? That was one time.
Mm. One little time, you think you might be a god. All right, so interesting. So edges and hindrances, we differ a little bit with the Cthulhu setting. So you can take 4 points in any combination of hindrances for Cthulhu. And so that can be 2 major hindrances or 4 minor hindrances.
What page are we on?
This is so in the main book. Sorry, I gotta flip back and forth between these
Sure.
PDFs. No.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
so
grab
you
my.
can have. Oh, go ahead.
I'm just gonna grab my little table and keep talking.
Cool. Yeah, so hindrances, they give you some points. A major hindrance gives you. Uh, flipped to me like way ahead. Okay. uh, yeah, so for a major, for 2 points, so a major hindrance gives you 2 points, and a minor hindrance gives you 1 point. For 2 points, you can raise and attribute 1 die type, or you can choose an edge. For 1 point, you can gain another skill point or gain additional money.
Okay, how many do we have to take?
You don't have to take any. If you want to take 0, you can skip it. So
Okay.
Cthulhu's a bit different in that you can take up to 4 points worth in any combination you want. So you could take 2 major hindrances if you want.
Doubting Thomas. Hmm.
All right. There are also a few new hindrances in the Cthulhu. There's Dark Secret, Glass Jaw, Low Class, Milk Toast, Obligations, and Unusual Lineage / Looks.
Can you define milk toast, please?
Sure. The investigator believes firmly in the sanctity of their mind and body and recovers slowly from shock and trauma. They suffer a -2 penalty to spirit rolls to recover from being shaken. The investigator may use a level up once he reaches seasoned or anytime thereafter to eliminate this hindrance.
Baller.
It is a major hindrance. Yeah, let me make sure there's some. Yep,
I took
all of them are available. So
curious
that's it.
because I think that she is one of those people that would like. I mean, she's continuing to look into this, even though like we could just move, and she's really interested. She's invested now, obviously. Like Ash Evil Dead. I guess Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness. For Army of Darkness. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, what do we get from these? Or is it just a thing?
So, okay. um, or
Additional
you
points
can,
towards what?
so it gives you extra points for stuff. So they kind of give you their own points, and you can use those points to buy different things. So a
Okay.
major hindrance gives you 2 points. A minor hindrance gives you 1 point. You can
Okay.
have up to 4 points. And for 2 points, you can raise a stat like your smarts or something like that, or take an edge. And for 1 point, you can raise a skill or gain money.
Oh.
So yeah, this is where if you are really thinking that one of your stats needs to be higher or something like that, you can go ahead and do that. You just got to take some hindrances.
Okay. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna up my spirit. Aw. That sounds right though.
Yeah, it's a hindrance. It's a hindrance for a combat-based setting and in a horror-based setting. So
Attractive. Very attractive. Yeah.
yeah, so you are humans, so you each get 1 edge for free to
Ooh.
start with. And yeah, those hindrance points, if you spend 2 of them, you can get an additional edge.
Rich.
And there are some additional edges as well.
In the other book?
in the other book. Yes. Let me make sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Flexible thinker.
So yeah, so with the edges, you'll have to make sure to an extent to start off with, you're going to need to take them as novices.
Okay. What does that
Um,
mean?
so they will have requirements next to them, and
Yes.
if
Oh,
it says like seasoned or veteran, you can't take those yet.
okay, yeah.
They do have.
I can be
Um,
savvy.
hmm.
I could be savvy. I could just play Savannah in this game.
They have some professional edges in this book as well. Um, Ooh, yeah, so interesting. So yeah, these help you out. So like they have doctor, engineer, linguist, and psychotherapist.
Okay.
Um,
Uh, would well adjusted is one of them. That's definitely not Clara. If I took linguist, because I'm thinking about like we're gonna get into some like dark and Cthulhian text. Is that something that I would be behooved to have? Because I
I,
already
it,
have I already have language. I have a D6 in languages, but
all right. So
this is for unfamiliar languages.
there's smart style and languages. Okay. Smart roll. So okay. So hmm. I'll have to look at languages a bit
Sure.
more. But yeah, so it looks like maybe with languages you choose the languages you speak is how it reads to
Yeah.
me, and you get to
Yeah.
choose a bunch of new languages based on this that you're fluent in, half your smarts die worth. um, and then yeah, you can use a smarts roll to decipher any language you're unfamiliar with, and if it's particularly exotic or strange, you just have a -4 to that roll. Yeah, that would be extremely helpful.
Okay. I will take this then. Not only do I understand the stars, but I understand words too.
Makes sense. Yeah, that just could be a bit hard to
Yeah.
get
What about
to.
the scrapper from the Cthulhu book? Whether a trained boxer, street fighter, brawler, or dedicated martial arts, this hero has been in his share of fights and knows how to handle himself. He is not threatened as an unarmed defender, and his unarmed attacks do strength plus a d4. Oh. What? Oh. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
So my understanding is, let me look at hindrances again just to make sure I'm getting this right. Oh yeah, you just gain another skill point. Never mind. You're right. You could take another. Have you taken all 4 points of hindrances? Yeah. Take glass jaw so you can
I can hit really hard,
completely.
but also if you hit me.
All right. So if you want to throw a curveball in there, Dark Secret has no negative implications unless someone knows your secret. It's a major hindrance. I mean, it would dictate that you'd have to tell me what the dark secret is, and I would have to work it into the game somewhere. But
Oh boy,
yeah,
yeah. You could also just take Clueless. Hero isn't aware of his world as most others. He suffers -2 to common knowledge rolls, which would be like not like you're very confident in the things that you know, but like general knowledge stuff. Like who's the best football player? Does that make sense?
you could you could take some extra money. Yeah, yeah. Did you take the wealthy edge? That would be hilarious. Uh, hmm,
Mm-hmm.
equal. Okay, yeah. So you basically double your starting funds if you put the point into money. Hmm.
Hmm.
So your starting cash, since it's a modern game, is $500. Uh, and yeah, we'll get into that at some point.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, and I mean, I guess if y'all are done with your hindrances and edges and skills, then all that's left is equipment.
Yeah, do we want to we're gonna like go through and up and
Oh,
down,
that's right. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because
So
we're a little advanced.
while we're here, yeah, it's a good idea.
Thanks.
Um, yeah. So trying to think. Who's has Cthulhu Mythos as a skill in their old?
I had some
Thinking.
in a cult, and I had, let's see, where is it? Yes. Oh, I have 6. Oh, sorry.
Okay. Uh, so yeah. So that means in this you have been exposed to it twice. Um. Hmm. So you have at least a D4 in knowledge mythos
Okay.
now. Um, that 6 means it's advanced.
Mm-hmm.
So that advancement came from?
From 2 different sessions of study.
That's
One
right.
from, yeah, so I have the book, uh the journal, this one. The journal from the French explorer. Nope, not that one. This one. The journal from the French explorer. Um, and um, oh, this is where I got arrested. Um,
Okay.
then what's the other? Was the other one the Longhouse stuff? Yeah, newspaper articles, pictures of the runes. Go ahead. Oh yeah, because I remember getting 2 books.
Yeah. So one was at the library and one is in your collection. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
I feel like I didn't write down the name of the book because it was so long.
It's fine. They're not all the same books, anyways. All right. So rationalizing madness and soak. Darn it. Okay. Let's
What?
go.
What have you done?
Table of contents. I need to look up how reading books works in this system to figure out if you have a D4 plus 1 in the skill or if it's a D6.
Wait. Put your head back where it was. Tilt it just a little bit to the right. Maybe your left. Oh no, look forward, look straight. And just, David, a little bit other way. There, stop. There's a picture behind you that I can now see.
Ah, yes.
Can you see it?
Is it my brother-in-law and niece?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh man, been there, done that. What's going on? Say something? Well, all the text is there. Can the stream hear me?
Yeah, I imagine they've been able to hear you.
We can hear you.
Okay, because I've just added an audio source that should be capturing me. That wasn't there before. So...
I was doubled. Yeah, my voice still is. I cannot hear you in the stream. Wait, hold on. It was muted. One more time. No. Cool.
Okay, so now let's try this. Kid, I'm saying things.
Okay.
And
I can hear you.
And now you try saying stuff and see if you're doubling.
And I'm not echoing.
Okay. Weird.
Indeed.
Because I'm pretty
Are you using OBS?
Yeah, I'm using OBS, and I'm pretty sure the sound stuff had worked last time we did this, and I didn't change anything from then. But, okay, well, hopefully the subtitles are good enough for the,
yeah.
And, you know, maybe our recording is fine, but thank you for letting us know, chat. And we will continue on now with everyone audible.
Audible. This is an Audible original.
If only.
All right.
Hopefully that gave David enough time to...
I figured out what I was doing, yeah. Roll me a D4, Clara.
Okay, I'm going to do it in real life because I have dice.
Okay.
It's a 1!
Okay.
You can see it.
So go ahead and bump your knowledge mythos up to a D6.
Ooh!
That does mean your sanity is permanently lowered by 2.
Ballsack. So you're gonna get, like, I'm gonna stop braiding Clara's hair and start just like poofing it. And every time she goes a little crazy, it's gonna get bigger.
I don't think I have enough control over my hair to do something similar. Like, I can maybe get it.
Just do it. Put a little mousse in it.
That would require me to own product. Anyway.
All right. So yeah, okay, that's not too bad. Yeah, so that's the Mythos advancement, and I am gonna have to go to. So basically, for every session in this, you get experience, and you get either 1, 2, or 3 experience, and it kind of goes on how the session goes. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do exactly with translating you guys dying to kind of getting to spend your points, because that doesn't work too well in this edition. I think I'll figure something out for when you die.
Now,
to
what
kind
are
of
bennies? Because those have come up
bennies.
a few times, and maybe that could be something that happens with dying.
Well, so you get 3 bennies at the start of each session. So
what's a benny?
They're basically a reroll. Their advantage, their inspiration. You can spend them on some extra stuff. Like in combat, if you're shaken, you can spend a benny to not be shaken, and you can spend it at any time. In traditional Savage World, you can spend a benny to soak wounds, which I'm thinking we won't do that in this. There's for the Cthulhu mythos, we choose a style of play, and I'm kind of going with gritty on combat and pulpy on sanity to kind of let you guys your sanity last a little bit longer.
Yeah,
but to keep the that's not too bad.
You muted yourself.
Oh, you muted.
Oh, sorry, I muted myself. If we go from like what we were doing before, boy, I would go insane very quickly.
Yeah. But yeah. So let's see. Let me see.
So edges are either a hindrance or oh no, I'm sorry. I got confused. Edges are the nice things.
Yes.
Okay. And we just get one of those, right?
Well, you get one for free. You can spend points from your hindrances to get edges as well. And I believe you can get them through leveling up as well. Let's see here.
An edge costs 2 hindrance points, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So
I want the flippin' table of contents. No. Why are you actually good at doing your job, PDF?
Can you not just search keywords?
Yeah, I can. I just don't know exactly what I'm looking for here.
Well, that would be a problem. I could get a horse.
Clara's a horse girl, confirmed.
I mean, absolutely. She's definitely had a dream of her like in a off-the-shoulder white flowing dress and riding on a horse with her hair blowing in the breeze and James behind her holding the reins.
Yeah. Full-on Fabio hair.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. So I think instead of figuring out experience points, we'll just figure out advancements that you get. So basically, for every 5 points you accumulate, you get an advancement. So an advancement, you can gain a new edge. You can increase a skill that is equal to or greater than its linked attribute by 1 die type. You can increase 2 skills that are lower than their linked attribute by 1 die type. You can buy a new skill at a D4, and you can increase 1 attribute by 1 die type, assuming that it does not go above a D12.
What page is that on?
That is on page 48 of the PDF of Savage Worlds.
Thank you.
Okay.
I guess we will have to figure out how many experience points you have. How many times have you guys died? Is it 2 or 3?
3.
I think we've died twice. I think we're on our third loop.
Okay.
Yes, because we've made it quite far this time.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you made it to the barbecue.
So far.
So I'm going to give you 3 advancements, and we'll say you have 15 experience. So you're not quite out of novice yet, but a couple of sessions might get you out of novice.
Okay. So that's the equivalent of 15 XP. It's not 3 advancements, and then do you spend the XP to get the advancements?
We keep track of how many XP you have. So every time you hit a new 5, you don't erase it. You get an advancement.
Okay.
Okay. So put 15 in our box up there, and then 3 advancements, which I know you said it's on.
It's 47.
Okay, 47.
Gotcha. Sorry, 48 of the little. If I type 48 in, it brings me to here.
Gotcha.
Gotta love it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So we have 3 to spend. I'm probably gonna give myself another edge.
Yeah. Let's see
just
what
because
the other edges
that sounds
are.
good.
I didn't.
And I'm gonna go to the handy dandy edge summary there.
That would make sense because there are a lot of edges to look at.
Yeah.
And again, there are some that we can't take in the Cthulhu one.
Oh,
right.
Yes. Yeah. Probably need to look that up.
Where were those? It's a page. What did they call it? I was able to get to it right from the table of contents. Disallowed edges on 21 in the Cthulhu one. So we can't take arcane backgrounds, power edges, can't take champion, gadgeteer, holy/unholy warrior, mentalist, Mr. Fix-It, wizard, weird edges, and power surge.
Okay.
Basically anything that gives you magic.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm curious about the Mr. Fix-It one because all that really does is
gives you magic.
Okay, so it's magic to repair things.
Oh, there is a MacGyver one. May improvise temporary gadgets.
Okay, but my notice isn't high enough yet. I need like 2 copies of the Savage Worlds base one open so I can look at what we get from advancements and also at these edges.
Strong-willed is interesting. I don't think that Clara qualifies as that.
Strong-willed.
A woodsman. That's her.
If I bumped up taunt, I could do strong-willed, which I never looked at what taunt actually does. Taunt is a test of will's attack against a person's pride through ridicule, cruel jokes, or one-upmanship. An opposed roll against the target's smarts. So it's basically, well, no. I was going to say it's basically vicious mockery, but it's more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so test of wills are kind of attack you can do that you can put them in the shaken state without actually having to hit them.
Okay.
And so if you're shaken, it means on your turn all you can do is free actions.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Maybe I'll bump some attributes and skills up rather than going for edges right now.
Yeah. Investigation, D8. Streetwise, D8. Ooh. I'd have to 1, 2. Okay. Streetwise is what based? Smarts?
Yes.
Okay. So I would have to. All right. Okay. Is anybody looking at the page with the requirement with the level up stuff?
Yes.
Okay. How I can bump up if I need to bump up to a D4 from it or a D8 from a D4.
Well,
How
is it
many
trained at
level ups will
all
that take?
first?
No, I haven't.
So
Okay, so I need to train in
one
it.
to train it, and
Is
then
1.
it does say increase 2 skills that are lower than their linked attributes by 1 die type each. I don't know, David, if you would allow us to bump up 1 skill by
Twice?
2.
I want to take investigator.
I think for this, yes. After we're done with character creation, I'm going to revert to rules as written. But
Okay.
for right now,
That's
to get
fine.
where we want to go, yeah,
Mhm.
we'll give you some.
Okay. Okay. So I have spent a great deal of time researching ancient legends, working the streets. Working the streets of the. I made a lot of friends within my community, like
Yeah.
my college community.
Yeah, work in the streets, investigator style, not the other kind of
Yeah.
work in the streets.
Well, no, I know.
Not that there's anything wrong with
I
that.
know.
But
I meant
that's
like
I'm
not
clarifying.
she's
Clarifying.
clarifying.
I'm Clara.
Mm.
Okay, I think I'm gonna spend 1 to train myself in investigation, because while James is not naturally skilled at that, all this nonsense has made him realize, okay, maybe I need to start figuring things out and paying more attention.
Uh-huh.
So 1 for there. Okay, what's the wording? Increase the skill that's equal to or greater than its linked attribute by 1 die type. So I could bump notice up by 1. So 1 for investigation. Oh, there was an edge I was looking at that was just like brawny or something that just.
Yeah.
What does that one do
There
again?
is a brawny one.
Your bruiser is very large or perhaps just very fit. Their bulk resists damage better than most and adds +1 to their toughness. In addition, the character can carry more than most proportional to their strength. They can carry 8 times their strength in pounds without penalty instead of the usual 5 times their strength. So I think I'll take the brawny edge. And then that gives me 1 more advancement. Okay, and then so I'll do just a mod to my toughness for +1, I think, rather than armor.
So Clara knew English and Greek.
Okay.
I need to write these down. But I get 2 other ones.
All right. So I was wrong on Mr. Fix-It. It's not magic. I thought it was, since you have to have an arcane background
Okay.
for it. It's just like super science.
Okay.
So
Abby.
makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, and then sure, I'll spend my last advancement to bring my shooting and throwing skills back up to D6, where I had them originally. Okay.
Okay, so I'm taking Greek, Ancient Roman, and I get 1 other language. What would make sense with astrology? What is...
So you got Greek, You got Greek and Latin. Yeah.
Latin. Let's do Latin.
Well,
Uh,
Latin would be ancient Roman.
yeah.
You're correct.
And I mean, so every culture studies stars.
Maybe ancient Spanish, or like whatever the Mayans used to speak.
Something in Central America.
Yeah. Yeah, you got those. I mean, there's also who are some famous astronomers, because that could easily be
some of the
a reason
Renaissance
if like
Italians.
you just know French because like the most famous astronomer ever.
Yeah.
Copernicus
That
was
makes
Greek,
sense.
right?
What?
Nicolaus Copernicus. The whole. Okay, he was
And Galileo.
Okay, so yeah, Copernicus was Polish, or I guess what is now modern day Poland. And Galileo was Italian.
Kepler was German. He's good. They named a satellite after him.
That's true. I'll take. Why don't we just say French? Because she studied it in college, and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Italian. All right. Okay. Oh yeah, I needed to look up the language skill a little bit more. So you get you got those 3 from your edge.
I got 2 additional languages from the edge.
Oh,
and
you just got 1
I
from
have knowledge language. I also took English because in D&D you take Common, even though everyone speaks Common. So
yeah, you can all speak a language. You don't have to spend any points to be fluent in a starting language. Yeah. Okay. Why do I keep doing it that way?
So I guess now it's just gear?
Yeah, so we move to sort of more modern things. Why are you like this? PDF. Modern, there we go. Starts at the very bottom of the page. Whoa. I don't think you guys own a car. And this.
What do you mean? It's in canon.
Did our cars get impounded?
You guys do. We'll keep it in.
How much do they cost?
What did we say it was? Do you remember?
You guys start with $500. Alex, you have 1,000?
Yes, because I've put one of my extra points into it.
Yeah. So, like, an SUV costs between $40,000 and $100,000. So you have.
I am a professor.
Got a janky car.
This is some sort of math problem that I don't know.
Yeah, even a compact costs $5,000.
I mean, nowadays.
Yeah. I think what we'll do to kind of carry over a little bit of what the last system was like in terms of money, because it definitely allowed for a greater standard of living than this one easily does.
Yeah.
We're gonna treat this as like what your spending money was in the last
Okay.
Okay.
one. So yeah, basically anything that you had as equipment before, just have it now. We're not going to
Sure.
worry about money.
But
And
what
hmm,
kind of gun does Clara have?
okay,
There
we
are a lot
do.
of different kinds here, and
There
I don't.
are
Okay.
a lot.
It is amusing
Could
seeing
I
different
have?
systems where it's just like handgun, pistol,
Yeah.
and then this one has.
It would probably be a 22 is a small gun.
Yeah.
Is a Ruger? Oh Jesus.
Okay, so
Eight.
um, for the folks at home, you've got ranged weapons, you've got medieval, you've got black powder. The modern, you've got pistols, and then there's a whole sub thing. You've got a Derringer, Colt Dragoon, both of which are 44s. Colt 1911, 45. S&W, 44. Desert Eagle, 50. Glock, Peacemaker, Ruger. Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, what sort of damage do you want it to do? And we'll just pick whichever one that is.
Let's see here.
It's either a D6 plus 1, just a D6, or a D8, and I don't think she would own a Desert Eagle.
No.
So handguns. I mean, the lowest I'm seeing is 2d6 damage.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right, 2D6.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the range is really the other thing.
Yeah.
So the Ruger is the lowest.
Is it a revolver versus semi-automatic?
Is that a flintlock, which is what came up when I Deringer?
Derringer?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think she'd have a, well, maybe she'd have a Glock. What does a Glock look like?
To the Google.
To the Google. Yeah. That looks like a typical handgun to me. In the 80s.
Yeah.
How does that sound, David?
That's fine by me.
99 millimeter.
I honestly don't. You could take any. If you wanted to take the Desert Eagle, I'm not going to say no.
I
That's
don't.
fine.
I can't in character. I can't in good conscience make Clara have a Desert Eagle.
All right.
What is this modern hand weapon that I'm seeing? A bang stick. Basically a shotgun shell on a stick used in melee.
Hmm.
You punch them with a shotgun shell.
Yeah.
How about a laser pistol?
Okay, so because I took that scrapper feat, except for a chainsaw or that bang stick, my punches do as much as any other modern melee weapon.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so combat gets a little weird in this. So with and then rounds get a little weird. So guns. What you're gonna care about on the guns is the number of shots, the rate of fire, and if they're semi-auto and stuff like that. Okay. So what's the rate of fire on your Glock?
Hold on. I'm in medieval.
It's 1.
Oh, scroll. It is rate of fire's 1.
Okay, so all right, so that means basically standard. You can only do one shot with it. Let me see. Is it a semi-auto?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let me look that up.
Also it's AP1, which I'm assuming is armor piercing.
Yeah, so that's
shit.
the other one. Is armor covers specific body parts in this, and you can do called shots. So if you want to,
dick.
yeah, if you want to. Well, so I rolled to see if you hit him. So you call shots like a section of his body, and I rolled to see if you hit him in the dick.
Nice.
Roll to hit him in the dick.
Yeah. So let me see here. Gotta get to.
If they retain any knowledge across death cycles, they're gonna learn to invest in cod pieces, armored cod pieces.
Okay. So basically, with semi-auto, you can take advantage of the double tap rule, which is to say you can use 2 shots to give yourself a +1 to hit and damage.
Yeah.
But you can't shoot twice.
Okie dokie.
That basically be using up 2 rounds in 1 shot?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so still 1 attack. Okay.
Yeah. The other thing that's weird in this is you can theoretically do as many actions as you want in a turn. But for every action past 1 in your free actions, every action you take has a -2. So at the start of your turn, you detail out everything you want to do. You can't like add stuff later. And so if you want to do 3 things, every roll you make, including the first thing, has a -4. So if you want to like taunt someone and shoot them, you have a -2 to both of those rolls.
Okay, so it's not
you can always move
progressive.
for free.
So it's not progressive where it's like the first thing you do is fine, but each successive thing gets an increasing penalty. It's just the more stuff you do applies an overall penalty.
Yeah, so theoretically what you do is you tell me everything you want to do in the round, and then you can do it in whatever order you want, because we already know what the penalties are. So it doesn't quite matter. If you had like in one hand a gun and in the other hand a knife, you could shoot and stab. If your rate of fire was higher than 1, you could shoot multiple times with it. So take like multiple attacks. Each one would have the minus whatever. Yeah, and I have to look into it. I think even with your Glock, you can just go nuts and do wildfire and shoot as many times as you can pull the trigger. You take a big negative, but
yeah,
you can get some extra shots off. Yeah.
No, just turn it sideways and go nuts.
Yeah, I don't think they've done that yet. This is the 80s, like the early 80s.
You could be the first.
They didn't invent turning guns sideways until the mid-80s.
I don't know. When did Snoop Dogg start rapping?
Well, now to Google how old is Snoop Dogg.
Oh, you'll be surprised. He is an old man.
He's 49, so he would have been 9 years old at the time of our game.
Yeah, so probably not. Where's the like normal? Oh, mundane items. Okay.
That's before all the fun stuff.
That's what we're spending our money on.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to, basically anything that we canonically have, you don't have to spend any of that money on it. I think what we'll do is we'll just say that that's how much cash you have at the start of
a cycle.
Cycle. That's how much money you had in your bank or in your pocket or whatever when you shook hands with Dr. Miller.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and put that I have lockpicks. Got a tool
under my umbrella. Sorry.
No, I'm just looking at the different things in what I would already have. Yeah.
Wear some medieval armor. Be hilarious.
I mean, I could probably get some from the college, but it wouldn't fit, and it would not be practical.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Submachine guns. There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's what
They
we
just
need.
they just kind of roll right into these in this book. I was looking into Cthulhu,
Okay.
Vehicle mounted and AT guns. So a cannon, a tank gun, a 88 millimeter German tank gun. These are things we need.
So I don't know if you know the question or the answer to this one, David, and it's not terribly important. In clothing, there is camouflage fatigues, and the cost is -20. Do you get money for taking camouflage?
And mundane items.
I wonder if this is like a misprint, like they initially had the hyphen in there and they forgot to fully delete it when they put in the cost.
Yeah, we'll say it's just cost 20. Even though I guess that's the same as normal clothing. Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense.
Unless it applies to other things and it lowers the value.
It's so gaudy.
It's a template.
Yeah.
You have normal clothes that are camouflage.
Well, but then you would still get
free.
camouflage
Someone
for free.
gave it to you.
Just everything camouflage. Camouflage formal clothing for 180 versus 200.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Yeah. When Clara and James finally go on a fancy dinner date, and James shows up in camouflage dinner jacket.
She would pretend like you were invisible.
Just means the clothes are doing their job.
Exactly.
Okay. But so I guess for our purposes, this table will be more important if we're in game and decide, oh hey, I want something, refer to this and see if we have the money left for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, it's Groundhog Day rules. So if you guys want to go rob a bank,
That's true. I don't know even under these circumstances if Clara is cool with that, but
maybe it'll take a few more death loops.
Yeah.
That's true. I guess the thing on it
montage
is,
of us dying and coming back and doing just more ridiculous things.
Yeah.
I guess the thing on that would be is that you'd only want to use that money for something that would help you in the short term, with the understanding that you would die again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because you wouldn't want that to be the loop you live through.
Yeah. Well, okay. So when we're trying out, okay, let's get a tank and just fire it at the Miller's house. How much is that going to cost us?
We could just set it on fire. Just light their house on fire.
Yeah, I mean...
Let's just burn down their... let's reset, get killed by the dad, reset to day one, and just burn the whole house down.
I mean,
what would be interesting? It was, we can't go back any farther than that day.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder when the thing in the basement was built or set up. That's just an LB curiosity thing.
Yeah, something to investigate. Yeah.
It's been here the whole time.
Burning it down, that is kind of our backup plan for if the BBQ goes completely sideways. Just
That's true.
Set everything on fire.
Yep.
Oh, I'll have to make your... Oh, interesting. So I'll have to make your sister, and then she'll be an extra. She's not a wild card. So in combat, you would control her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I need to make her. Okay, I should have been doing that this whole time. All right. Well, you live, you learn.
Yeah. Is there much else we need to go over for initial character creation? Do either of us have
not really
yet?
Trying to think. I would talk to you a little bit about the style of game where we're going to kind of do gritty combat and pulpy. um, psychic stuff, and so that gets into the binnies more than anything else. And so in combat, you can use a binny to basically make a toughness roll to absorb your wounds and like just not have the wounds. That's going to be disallowed in this.
Okay.
But there is a version of that that is available for the sanity. So if you take enough madness, you will you can make a sanity, or not a sanity, what is it based off of? Spirit. You can make a spirit check to absorb the levels of madness you would take.
Okay.
So the way the system works is 3 wounds and you're incapacitated. You're not necessarily dead. Where I think I would go with this is if you both become incapacitated, you're obviously going to die. The other one is there is an action you can take to just kill someone who's incapacitated. So the millers can do things like that. And then same thing with sanity and madness. If you take 3 madness, you're incapacitated no matter what. Each time you take a madness, there's a chance that you develop a temporary or permanent insanity. We'll go into that. And yeah, so those damage dice that you were looking at on for your attacks and stuff, right? So when you're hurting someone, you roll to see if you hit them. Then you roll your damage dice. You have your toughness score. If I was rolling against you, if I roll above your toughness score, you're hurt and you're shaken. You haven't taken any wounds. If I roll 4 above, you've taken 1 wound. If I roll 8 above, you've taken 2. I could theoretically do all 3 wounds and a go. Same thing with your sanity. If you come up against something that is just scary, bad for you, and I would make you make a grit check, which is a normal kind of check, but basically it's just going to be a spirit roll. Or no, I'd go up against your sanity. If it's over your sanity, no. Yeah, sorry. You'd make a grit check. If you fail it, I roll dice to see how bad it is. And if it's however much it is over your sanity, you could potentially get madnesses. But if it goes over at all, you're shaken. So it's kind of just like 2 separate health systems.
Okay.
I'll be able to explain it better next time. I feel like I got a little confused there. But, yeah. So other than that, no, I mean, we'll pick up where we left off. I'll probably try and work in ways for you to have more people like Clara's sister around, because this system is very much based around the idea that you're the heroes and there are extras that are helping you and extras that are helping the bad guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, extras are really easy to kill, or not kill, but incapacitate. So if they take 1 wound, they're done.
Okay.
And yeah, so that'll be it moving forward. Next time we'll pick up at the barbecue, exactly where we left off.
Oh boy.
Which, Clara managed to pretend to take a toast. Sarah and I've very obviously flubbed ours.
Oh boy.
So
It's gonna be great, guys.
Yep.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this goes. Clara did not bring her gun.
yeah, so
Are we going to need it? Who knows?
Oh, that's the other clerical thing I wanted to say. So to kind of replicate the advancement of horror in this, that was kind of in the last one, without just having it be the exact same system. When you guys critically fail, I'm going to advance the horror.
okay.
Which was already a thing in the last one. Critical failure meant automatic advancement of horror. your bennies are your bennies. There's never going to be a penalty for trying to use those. So
Okay.
as opposed to last time, where if you fail to push roll, bad stuff happens. If you fail on a benny, who cares? Doesn't matter.
Mhm.
You start with 3 bennies. I start with 2. What I'm going to say is I can use a benny for if you fail a roll at all to advance the war.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
But other than that, failure still won't necessarily be a bad thing. We'll kind of keep it a little bit as it was to encourage you to try things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's my housekeeping.
Cool.
All right. Yeah, I think that about covers it. We're all going to hopefully learn more about this system before we play it again in probably 2 weeks. We're going to try and stick with alternating with the Masks game, which should be back next week. And hopefully we'll have a full crew again for that. And Tyler will get to see what shenanigans his character is up to. I hope Wings has shown him my impersonation of him, or will by then.
I think she has.
Yeah. But yeah, think that covers it for our session tonight. So thank you, David, for running us through character creation and learning enough about this system to teach us the basics.
Anytime.
Yep. Let's see. Rest of this week, we've got Elegant Magics again on Thursday. We've got Neon Souls on Friday. We've got our first session of Saturday Night's Mistborn on Saturday, which is using the Mistborn RPG based on the Mistborn books by Brandon Sanderson. We're all very excited for that. New system for all of us. Very interesting system, but even if you don't know the books, should be fun. Sunday, we're back with Vason, right?
Correct.
I always forget which vowel sound it is. And Thursday's Children. And then, yeah, we'll be back around. And if things change, we post about it on Twitter and our Discord, so make sure you're following our socials so that you know what we are up to. Also, programming note, Tuesday going forward, I know we already started half an hour later than our old slot. We're going to be pushing it back and starting, a full hour later. So whereas we had been starting at 7 Eastern, we're going to be starting at 8 Eastern going forward. And, we'll tweet about that as well. So that is going to be our Tuesday start time going forward. I think that's it. Either of you got things you want to discuss or promote?
Nope.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us, and until next time, good game and good night, Internet.